Sri Gurubhyo Namaha, Lakshmi here. Welcome back to the next session in biology, control and coordination. Today we are going to discuss about parts of the brain. Let's get into the lesson with full energy. Let me ask you a question before I start the session. Does the brain feel the pain? If your answer is yes, just go and find out the name of the receptor responsible for it. If your answer is no, then why do we get headaches? Just think about it. I'll discuss about this in the next session. Shall we get into the class? Last class we discussed about brain, its structure, isn't it? And today I'm going to teach you the parts of the brain. So first we'll start with forebrain. Forebrain has three important regions. One is cerebrum, hypothalamus, thalamus. So cerebrum is the main part for thinking. So apart from that, it is the main site for learning, reasoning, and intelligence, and even your memory. Okay. The cerebrum also has some sensory areas. Specialized areas. There are some specialized areas in the cerebrum, which is specifically, it works to gather information from sense organs like skin, tongue, nose, eyes, and ears. And finally, it gives us the sensation or the feeling. Now, I'll show you the lobes. What are the different sensory areas or the lobes present in the cerebrum? Look at this picture. I just now I said, right, there are so many sensory areas present in the cerebrum. These are the sensory areas. They can also be called lobes. So frontal lobe, temporal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe. These are the different lobes of the sensory areas present in the cerebrum, which gathers the information from the sense organ. If you take this frontal lobe, this region, this region is meant for what? Or it controls your thinking, speaking, and your memory, and even your physical movement. And this temporal lobe is mainly responsible for hearing. Parietal lobe helps you in understanding the language and sensation of touch, pain, heat, cold, everything. Everything is under the control of parietal lobe. And if you take occipital lobe, it helps you to, it decodes and it interprets the visual information. For example, when you see anything, you can actually see the color of the object, the shape of the object, and everything, all the details about it, right? So the proper interpretation, it is given by this lobe, occipital lobe. So now we discussed about cerebrum, the importance of cerebrum, right? Now let's get into thalamus. So this thalamus is over here. It's a minute part. This is the main part which determines the source. It evaluates information. For example, when brain receives any information, this thalamus will evaluate the importance of the information, and it integrates the information, and then only it sends the information to the cerebrum. So it evaluates their importance and integrates the information before the information is passed, before it is passed to the cerebrum. Okay. Next is hypothalamus. This hypothalamus is a very small portion located over here. This is the main center. It is a main center for feeling full. It is associated with hunger. For example, when you are eating something at a particular point of time, what do you feel? You will have a sensation of what? Full, right? So then after that, you will stop eating. You won't eat after that, isn't it? So that complete sensation of feeling full is associated with this part, hypothalamus. So we completed forebrain. Now we'll move on to the midbrain. So midbrain is the part that connects the forebrain and the hindbrain. So what is the main role of this midbrain? The main function of this midbrain is that, it controls the reflex movements of the head, neck, and the trunk in response to visual and auditory stimuli. Visual means what? What you see. Auditory means what? What you hear. Auditory stimulus are created by objects, when someone is playing a musical instrument, or all of a sudden when a tree falls in a forest. What happens, all these signals are sent to the brain very, very, very fast, and you react to it very fast. Usually this auditory stimulus is, this reaction is very faster than the visual stimulus. So when you hear some sound, first you hearing the noise, and you turn back, right? So auditory stimulus is very faster compared to the visual stimulus. So the moment of this is also, this your midbrain also controls the reflex movement of your head, neck and trunk in response to the visual and auditory stimulus. Then even your movement of your iris, the changes in pupil size and shape of your lens is also controlled by your midbrain. So when you see a bright light, how your iris, how it responds to it, and when you see a dim light, it constricts, right? So the pupil size and shape of the lens is completely controlled by midbrain. So we completed midbrain. Now we'll move on to hindbrain. So hindbrain includes pons, medulla, cerebellum. Pons and medulla especially, they control all the involuntary activities. Involuntary activities means what? Which is not under our control. Example, respiration, heartbeat, breathing, contraction and expansion of blood vessels, swallowing, coughing, sneezing, vomiting. All these are involuntary actions, right? We cannot control all this. So it is controlled by pons and medulla. Respiration is basically controlled by pons. And the cerebellum, it controls, this is cerebellum. It controls, it controls and maintains equilibrium of the body. For example, you can able to walk in a straight line, right? Then you can ride a bicycle, and you can pick up a pencil, right? So all these activities can be performed only with the help of cerebellum. So complete posture, complete balance, all your voluntary actions, it is completely under the control of cerebellum. If cerebellum is disturbed, you cannot balance your body, you cannot give a proper posture. We completed the parts of the human brain. Question for the day. What happens to your brain when you are very happy? What happens in your